Hello and welcome to the weekly Asylum and Immigration Reform Recap, where I share with you 5 recent stories of interest for asylum seekers and those wanting to stay updated on immigration news. This week, we're discussing,
in a surprising reversal, the Biden administration will resume construction of a border wall and start deporting migrants to Venezuela. Asylum backlogs are skyrocketing, as cases face extensive delays with dismissals and systemic dysfunction blamed. Elon Musk did a live stream from the border on immigration, but was it all a publicity stunt? New data shows immigration growth under Biden is actually below predictions and the slowest in decades. And New York City's mayor makes a controversial request amid a migrant influx that is overwhelming city resources.
I'm Brian Manning, and I used to be an asylum officer with the government, but now, as an asylum attorney, I help immigrants all over the country to secure their future in America through asylum. All right, let's get to the news. First up,
in a move that has shocked immigration advocates, U.S. officials have declared the resumption of direct deportation flights to Venezuela and a rapid continuation of southern border barrier construction to address illegal crossings. Since 2020, nearly 500,000 Venezuelans have come to the United States, fleeing political oppression and economic turmoil, with U.S. sanctions on Venezuela contributing to the mass exodus. With over 7 million Venezuelans fleeing in the past decade, many face perilous journeys through treacherous terrains. Officials are justifying the Biden administration's barrier construction shift after a previous halt as a response to soaring migration numbers, particularly in Texas's Rio Grande Valley. Critics condemn the environmental and wildlife implications of the wall's extension and view it as both ineffectual and projecting precisely the wrong message to the world about a country that has been built by immigrants.
And up next for update number 2.
Asylum backlogs are exploding at a breakneck pace, with pending cases skyrocketing across immigration courts and at USCIS. Staggering stats tell the story: 983,000 pending asylum cases in court, which is up from 757,000 at the end of last October. Pending affirmative asylum applications now exceed 1 million, quadruple the amount just 3 years ago. Driving factors include migrant influxes at the border and from Afghanistan, but systematic dysfunction also shoulders blame, like aimless docket reshuffling in courts and last-in, first-out prioritization slowing cases. With delays spiraling, cases face extensive postponements and increased dismissal risks, while affirmative asylum applicants see no movement ahead. There is, though, a silver lining. USCIS recently announced that work permits for asylum seekers will now be valid for 5 years instead of just 2. Still, the growing backlog spells years of purgatory for asylum seekers. The government needs to dedicate more resources to this urgent problem.
All right, it's time for our third immigration update.
Elon Musk of Tesla and SpaceX fame created controversy during a visit to Eagle Pass, Texas, live streaming from the border in an attempt to promote his Twitter platform, now known as X, as a hub for citizen journalists. But experts argue the tech mogul peddled misinformation, portraying migrants as invaders, while failing to speak with any actual asylum seekers. Musk and Congressman Tony Gonzalez falsely claimed the border is wide open, though over 2 million have been deported under Biden. They also blamed migrants for hospital overcrowding, but didn't mention injuries from the governor's razor wire. Critics say Musk merely used the humanitarian crisis as clickbait while profiting off the attention economy. His livestream froze within minutes in an ironic tech fail. In the end, Musk threw fuel on the fire with his media circus, then left town untouched. The visit offered a missed chance to highlight solutions on legal paths and asylum backlogs. Instead, experts warn it may spur more dangerous journeys.
By the way, if you want to stay updated on asylum and immigration reform news, then make sure to press the subscribe button and the bell icon so that you don't miss the next video. Okay, moving on, we're ready for update number 4.
Contrary to claims from some Republican leaders, new data shows immigration under President Biden is not surging out of control. A comprehensive Census Bureau survey finds the immigrant share of the U.S. population grew just 0.3 percentage points in the past year, reaching 13.9%. That's far below predictions. In fact, immigration growth is at its slowest rate in 60 years, yet critics continue to sound alarms about open borders and mass influxes. The truth? America's workforce is shrinking as the population ages, and we need immigrant workers to fill gaps across all skill levels. Exaggerated rhetoric should take a backseat to facts. The U.S. still has room to grow through immigration, which has always played a crucial economic role. The data make clear now is the time for practical reforms, not inflammatory false claims.
And finally, our 5th immigration update for this week.
New York City's landmark right to shelter is under threat. Mayor Eric Adams has requested suspending the mandate that requires the city to provide housing for anyone who asks. This bombshell development comes as officials scramble to accommodate thousands of migrants arriving from the southern border. Adams argues the influx has pushed the city past its breaking point, with nearly 123,000 asylum seekers arriving since spring 2022. Sheltering them could cost $12 billion over 3 years. Adams insists this isn't the end of the right to shelter, but legal groups strongly disagree, saying it guts protections for the homeless. If granted, New York's homeless population could balloon to levels not seen since the Great Depression. This controversial request is the latest chapter in an escalating migrant crisis plaguing America's largest city.
And that concludes this week's immigration news. If you want to win asylum in the United States, then you should call my office today. We help people all over the country, so it doesn't matter where you are. Call us now to schedule an Asylum Strategy Session so that we can assist you in securing your future in America through asylum. Again, I'm Brian Manning, and it's an honor to serve you in your immigration journey.